What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. How is everybody doing? And welcome back to another on the farm video. This time 100% drone footage. So if you're into the drone footage, awesome, stick around, you'll love this video. If not, appreciate you clicking on the video, but just fair warning, guys, all drone footage all the time. So we're gonna call him Farmer Fred. He's getting into his case combine. This is the same guy that was harvesting the corn with this case combine, and it is time to harvest beans for most of the farmers in the area. Some of the guys are still on corn, but those are the guys without like drying systems and stuff. But the guys with drying systems are pretty well all on to soybeans now. So here we go with the case combine to the field. So this is actually like his third time trying this particular patch of beans here. They're a little tough, and then one day it like rained a little bit, and the moisture was too high, and it was a whole thing. So here we go, firing up for the first time on this particular day. We happened to be on the way to the farm, and we saw this particular farmer pull out of his homestead with his truck, like a straight truck for hauling grain. And so we just like followed him. Kind of creepy, but my dad grew up with this guy, went to school with him all his, growing up, so it was all right. It's all good. They're neighbors down there. It's actually Zach's family again, so all is good. Shout out to you, Zach. What's up? How's it going? But yeah, guys, to the field with the case combine here. I think it was a 35-foot draper head, I believe is what he said, and man, you just slam that thing right to the ground. It's crazy how that big old head just follows the ground. So you got to get all the bean, so you got to get the whole plant. It grows beans all the way from the top to the bottom, so that is what you have to do. And you guys will also notice something here. Compared to corn harvest, you crawl during bean harvest. And like I said, these were a little tough. If they weren't tough, you could probably go a little faster, but these were a little tough yet. So just trying to get out and get something done. You got to keep moving when it comes time to harvest, especially we've had decent-ish weather here where haven't had a lot of rain. It rained like, it was weird. We were down at the farm and, like flying the drone half a mile away. Bring the drone back, the drone was wet from being like in the rain half a mile away. But it wasn't raining where I was standing. So it was just like a weird, almost a week of that where it was just like, it wasn't raining here, but it might be raining 5 seconds that way. Actually leaving this field to go to the farm, we drove through 3 spots where it like didn't rain, rained really good, the road was completely soaked, and then didn't rain, and then rained a little bit, and it was like really weird the way it was raining here, there, and yonder, and yeah, it was very strange, guys, very strange. But you can see how slow he's actually going here. These are pretty good soybeans. They're about 65 bushel. I think he's what he said to the acre, which is pretty good for soybeans. And like I said, they're a little on the tough side yet. He is using his GPS to harvest these, I believe, because he was talking about his GPS when we talked to him for a little while before he got harvesting here, because since he was starting up for the first time today, he had to fire up the combine, let the GPS boot up, so he got out of the combine and talked to us for a few minutes. It was kind of funny, but especially the bubble up auger, you guys can really, if you remember back to corn harvest footage, which I should throw some in, but I didn't, you can really tell the difference in the bubble up. But you got to think, you're going from about 200 bushel to the acre corn to 65 bushel soybeans. That's a big difference, and of course you're going to be able to run longer. And that's why they run bigger heads on the grain side, just so you can get more done, because like with soybeans especially, they don't even use an auger wagon or a grain cart. Excuse me, gangster, sorry. Grain cart. Whatever you want to call it. The thing behind the tractor that you dump your grain into that has a thing that, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they don't even use one on soybeans. Some of the guys do. Just so the combine never stops, but a lot of them I would say don't, because it's almost a waste of that tractor for soybeans. I mean, it depends how you farm. Some of the guys, like I said, they definitely do, and some don't. So it just kind of happens. So you can see he is harvesting at a little bit of an angle to the beans. The way they're planted with soybeans, it doesn't matter. You can do that. You can pretty well go however you want in a soybean field, and it will be fine. These are 15-inch rows, by the way, if anybody's wondering. They plant 15-inch soybean rows. Some of the guys in the area plant 30s. Some of them, actually, the guys that farm ours, they do 20-inch bean rows. So it's kind of different how people do different things. So like the guys that farm ours, they have 2 planters for corn. I think they have two 16-row planters for corn, and then they have a 20-inch row planter just for soybeans. So they have a dedicated planter, so whatever you want to call it, thing that puts the bean in the ground. They have a dedicated machine for that. So it's kind of cool that they have that. But yeah, you can see he's putting some angle to it. Lots of straw. These beans, like I said, pretty good. A lot of the beans in the area are going down like crazy, and there's a couple reasons for that, but yeah, it's just dropping like crazy, which means when the farmer goes to harvest, he has to go even slower, because you don't want to go too fast. You'll just kind of plow them down. You got to let your the reel have time to kind of pick them up and throw them into the head. So it's gonna be a slow bean harvest around here this year, I have a feeling, guys. So a little bit of a slow bean harvest, but hopefully we'll get some more footage of different combines out harvesting beans. Hopefully we'll get a John Deere or 2. And actually, guys, for the next on the farm, I already have footage of an old little John Deere, so that'll be cool, harvesting soybeans. That will be really cool. Take a look at that next week, guys, so make sure you tune in for that. And actually, as of when this video goes live, our 24-hour stream just ended, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, we went across the road here, and I got the one, the only Gleaner combine in our area that we know about. This is the one, the only that we are aware of. This is an old Gleaner. I'm not sure of a model, guys. I really don't know. I'm sure some of you guys might know Gleaner. You could let me know. This is old. This is one of the farmers in the area that, you know, kind of has a different way of doing things. And it's more of like an old school way, let's say. Because he's not using an auger wagon, grain cart, whatever, for harvesting corn. And that's kind of like an old school thing to do. And you can see there he's got a skipper, or not really a skipper, but he's left that pass there because he harvests till he's full, and then he stops and goes. He can't make a round in his field. And this is why auger wagons, grain carts have become such a thing. Well, there's a couple reasons there. One, the combine never stops, more productive. And then 2 is so you can make rounds in your fields and not have to stop and back up and then go empty. And that's exactly what he's doing here. And you know, it's totally like the old school way of farming, and it's kind of amazing. You know, that combine does not have duals. It's an old combine. It is a very old combine. My grandpa had a 2-row corn head on his Gleaner way back in the day. It was a smaller combine, of course. They did, for Grandpa's combine, they made a 3-row corn head, but he never upgraded because he had problems with making rounds anyway with 2-row, and then you add another row, and it would just, you know, your chance of making a round would be a lot less, of course, because you'd be putting more corn into the combine. And you would also be driving on the rows on each side with your front tires and back tires, and you would just eat tires. So he never went for that. But you can see he harvests as long as he can. Then he drives out. And I couldn't actually show you guys where he was emptying because he was driving up around his buildings where his truck was. He was unloading into a semi-truck. But I can't actually show you that because it shows off like way too much about his farm, and I'm not going to do that to somebody without their permission. So, and even with that permission, I probably still wouldn't do that. But guys, we found a quad track. This is Zach's family again. I like filming them. They're cool with it. They're all down with it, it seems. So I like getting out and filming them. But that is a quad track 435. I'm not sure what brand. You guys will tell me. I'm sure that disc is. That's a regular old disc with a, I guess you could call it like a heavy harrow thing on the back there to kind of break up any clods or whatnot. But a lot of guys in the area are just disking this year, disking their corn ground because it has been wet and if it turns to a really wet fall, then at least they got the ground disked. Now, these particular guys with this patch even, we're talking about letting it lay for a little bit and then going in there with the disc chisel and ripping it all up then. And we're seeing that around a lot, that guys are disking first this year and then letting it lay, drying out a little bit more. Yes, he's making dust here, but it's fairly wet. Letting it dry out more and then going in there with the disc chisel because it works deeper. So of course you need your soil to be dry. And by disking it, you're going to open it up and really let it dry. So as long as we don't get a ton of rain, this is actually a really smart thing to do. Go out there with the disc first and just open it up. And it's actually kind of what we do with our garden, what we're going to do with our garden this fall. We are going to be disking it first and then plowing it, guys. So we're going to break out the 3-bottom plow this year, the Massey Harris Ferguson. Yes, it has all 3 names. I'll show you guys the tag, don't worry. But we will be breaking that plow out this year and plowing up the pumpkin patch. And I said pumpkin, not pumpkin. Shout out to you, Steph. But here you can see he's turning around. This field's got some funky angles to it. Pretty much every field down by us has funky angles to it, guys. It's just over the years between like train tracks and roads, and nobody laid out anything square anyway. I don't know if there is a square field down there. Even like our fields around our farm, none of them are square. I don't think that exists by us at all. It's kind of crazy, but I need to talk to these guys sometime about like, hey, turn those beacons on top. That would be like awesome if you're just out in the field with beacons on, because you know I'm all about my beacons, right? All right, so these are the late soybeans out in front of the farm, guys. These are the beans after wheat. And actually, wow, just the other day we were down there. So this video was taken on a Sunday. We were down there on the following Wednesday. They've changed so much more since then, and they're going to continue to change because we got some cold weather coming. That'll really start to make them change. But those are the late soybeans. They are getting there. They're actually looking quite well. We need to go out and like look at them and show you guys the bean itself and whatnot. So we will have to do that. And these are the early beans that are farther out that we watched being planted back in the spring. They are just about ready to go. Need to dry up a little bit more probably. And then, hey, in the next field, look what we found again. We found the quad track again. I don't know. I was mesmerized by the disc and the way you can see all the dirt go and the dirt go. And I really like it. I thought it was really cool. And I just, you know, I can fly to this field from the farm. So I'm standing back at the farm at the buildings there, and I'm a couple thousand feet away, but you know, the drone has plenty of range for that, and I thought it was really cool. So it's not every day that you get to see a quad track out disking, so when you do, I guess you film it with your drone, right? Or at least I do. You can see in this field here, this was corn ground, and you can see up top right there, there's actually water standing in the field still. So stuff like that is what I was talking about, you know, needing it to dry out a little bit more before they go out there with their chisel and get it done. So disking it just makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me. Get it opened up, get it starting to dry. You're going to kill a bunch of weeds. You're going to kill all that crabgrass. And the big thing is getting it to dry out a little bit. Because this time of year, of course, you're not worried about losing moisture. That's a spring thing. You don't want to go out there and like plow your dirt 12 times in the spring because you're going to lose all your moisture, and when you plant you won't have anything to get your crop up. But this time of year, work away. I have to say, guys, if I was a farmer, like a legitimate farmer, I would work a ton of dirt and work it deep and everything, just because to me loose dirt's where it's at. But that's my personal opinion. So like this fall when we plow our garden, we're gonna plow that bad boy real deep. I was actually watching a plowing video yesterday where they were plowing 4 inches deep, and they're like so happy with it, and oh, it's a good plow job. It's like, it's only 4 inches. Let's go like 8 maybe. Let's go 6 to 8 inches. Now we're talking. 4 inches, you just might as well just use a disc. if you want to plow, let's plow. You know what I'm saying, guys? Let's do it. So this is really cool. I just thought this was mesmerizing the way it is all working here. And then same thing with the other field. Yes, he's making a little bit of dust, but that's just right off the surface most of the time. This field's pretty wet yet, so it happens. That's why he's disking it, guys. So I just thought it was so cool to see it go. So here we go from the side. You can see it's just boiling out of there. He wasn't actually going as deep as you might think, especially right here. That outside disc on the front, it's not even doing anything most of the time, but just kind of scratching along the ground, getting it opened up. And you can actually see right here, if you look in the cab, he's not even touching the wheel, guys. He's using GPS. So basically, I believe when they are doing this, he would turn and then push a button, and it just takes him right across the field after that, which is so cool, so cool. You'll see coming up when we plow our little garden that it won't be straight. Although Dad does a really good job. Dad's really good at keeping it straight going across the garden. I get squirrely when I go across the garden plowing, so probably let Dad do all the plowing this year so I can film a bunch of it, because I enjoy making those videos of plowing the garden and stuff. It's quite fun to me. So obviously we won't have a quad track. We'll be using our Case 995, but that is okay. We will get it done. It'll take us a while with that three bottom plow that we have, but we'll get it done. So you can see right there where he's going into, that is a really wet spot and all that stuff. You can actually, what happened here is the corn probably drowned out back in July and into August. The corn drowned out right there. Then all the weeds started coming through. So now there's a lot of weeds there, and by disking them, he will help. He will help it out quite a bit. Do you like that little fast time there? Boom, as he turned. I thought it was cool. All right, so we're coming in. He's going through the spot, and even if he was disking a little deeper, you would still see some green, because that's a lot of material for a disc to get rid of. So it's actually doing a fairly good job. The only way to really get rid of that completely by working it would be like a plow, just completely turn it under, and that would probably do it. But these guys don't plow anymore. None of the big farmers plow in the area anymore. So guys, we are done. The sunset fast time is a go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment if you made it all the way to the end. I do appreciate you. Hit that like button for more. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And until next time, thanks for watching. Toodles!